All right, I think me and Bob still got a little juice going after the show today, because frankly, talking with Chris Hansen is kind of exciting, right? I mean,
yeah. He gives you confidence. He gives you confidence that there's not a question, a problem, or anything that could be thrown at him when it comes to the arena proposal, the MOU that he doesn't answer, that he can't answer. He's got all his ducks in a row. You just feel like, all right, you're not going to stump him with anything. There isn't going to be a misstep with him.
I know we both have, everyone, I think, and make sure you listen to the podcast of it. It's terrific, really. We had him in the 1 o'clock hour, in the second hour of the show on Thursday. What I got out of it, as much as anything else, was here's a guy. Everyone's talking about this deal almost looking like it's too good to be true, and Hansen himself, not ever rising to the bait, not ever firing off. He has not been. I don't believe I've ever even heard him lose his cool for even 5 seconds at any point. And so, one of the stories that's come out about the county council voting on Monday and the city council after that is there's likely to be some changes to this MOU, this original deal. And the question would be, well, how would Chris Hansen and his group feel about that? Most of the time, you get a look. This is our deal. We've done all we can do. This is it. In fact, every circumstance I could think of here, I brought up the example of the Mariners in the past. Paul Allen had a vote on his thing, but everyone has gotten to the point where either you do this or that's it. And I gave Chris Hansen the opportunity to say exactly that, and he did not say anything along those lines. In fact, went completely opposite, said we understand politicians when they get involved, we're going to want to have their imprint on it. And as long as it doesn't change the spirit of the deal, I'm not opposed to that. I mean, this guy honestly might be too good to be true.
Yeah, I guess the only difference in those cases would be those other people had teams that they could pull out of here. He's not pulling a team out of here.
True.
He's pulling a deal potentially, and it doesn't sound like he has any intention of doing that. And he just said as long as we're not rewriting the whole deal, obviously he understands that there could be changes made to it.
What caught you? Anything else?
I mean, a lot of things. I mean, he's just so composed. We talked to him about how he's being portrayed in the Seattle Times, the idea that everybody kind of wants to get theirs with this deal, that existing problems that were here long before his name was ever brought into the public, whether it's transportation, whether it's Pioneer Square saying we need outdoor bathrooms, whether it's anybody involved with this saying, well, this is my opportunity to get something. He agreed with that, but he also said everybody should chip into that. It shouldn't fall on his shoulders, and he's absolutely right. He's not the financial savior for everybody's problems that existed prior to the potential of an arena. And he said, yes, of course, our group would be willing to be contributors in things like that, but there are a lot of other existing businesses and big players in that whole community that should be chipping into those things, whether it's Pioneer Square's bathrooms or it's the traffic solutions that need to be brought into place there. I mean,
for crying out loud, and you mentioned that, and you think about the port thing, right? Yeah. About them basing their traffic complaints on outdated studies. He didn't even get mad when we brought that up.
Well, I think all you can do is laugh once you read about how outdated these studies were and how the people in charge of the port even acknowledge, yeah, it's fair to criticize, it's fair to say, and it really is interesting to read what they've based all their concerns on and how their numbers have come together, and they're more aspirational numbers of jobs we'd like to have. They're not factual numbers, so everything that they've based their job loss or job potential is aspirational. It's not any data brought about by a study. It's very interesting to read.
Yeah, listen to the podcast and listen to him deal with every one of those old complaints that have been going around for a month or two, and then on Monday, think good thoughts. Let's get that first step done in the county council passing that vote.